Morning, everybody. So we're going to start lying down this morning, and we're going to work a little bit on the hips today. So just going gently, but stretching out the hips, strengthening the hips as well. And we'll just begin by lying down, bringing the soles of the feet on the ground with the knees bent. So make sure you're nice and warm this morning. It's quite frosty out there. And before we start movement, just wriggle around a little bit, lift up one sit bone, then the other, lift up one shoulder, then the other, and align your back. So just take a little bit of time. If you just squeeze your bum muscle slightly, lift your pelvis up off the ground and then lower it down. And just get yourself nice and set up nice and straight. And then we're going to bring the feet so they're about mat width apart. So just edging the feet out towards the sides of the mat and bringing the feet a comfortable distance away from the body. We take a few breaths here. So coming into the practice this morning, you can gently rest your hands on your tummy and take a few breaths. So just connecting in with your breathing and working on feeling grounded. And taking that breath down into the belly. Couple more breaths here.
Mute.
Thank you. And often through the week, the breath can get more and more kind of up in towards the chest. But we want to gently, gently draw it back down. Okay, from here, so feet are mat width apart. From here, we're going to breathe in, so nice deep breath into the belly. And then on the out breath, we're going to slowly lower the knees all the way down to one side. So keeping the shoulders grounded, as you next breathe in, lift your knees up to center. And as you breathe out, lowering them down to the other side. So really working with the breath here, and you can bring your head into the equation. So as you breathe in, you're lifting everything up to center. As you breathe out, you're going to lower the knees all the way down to the left, start to look towards the right. So you're getting a gentle spinal twist up towards the center, and then all the way down to the other side. So you can have your arms out to the sides, cactus arms, or you can have your hands on your belly, connecting in with your breath. You can bring your hand to your heart center. So just putting your hands where feels comfortable for you this morning, rolling with the breath. And if you're comfortable with the movement, you can close your eyes. And you can really sense the connection of your breath with the movement. So this is part of what's called a swara yoga. So swara in Sanskrit means a note or a breath. So it can mean a note on a scale, on a musical scale. But it can also mean breath or the sound of breath. So when we're rolling through this movement, we're stretching out the hips, but we're tuning into the sound of the breath. So swara yoga. A couple more times. Last one. Really good if you want to ease out, you've got a stiff lower back, or if you feel a bit achy on the back, it's a really good one. We come back into center, and then we're going to bring the knees over the chest. Gently, gently bring your hands onto your knees, squeeze into your chest. So squeeze the knees down in. So you're releasing the lower back now. Breathe in. On the out breath, gently release your hands slightly so that your lower back comes onto the ground, and then we circle round. So using the hands on the knees to circle round, small circles. And you can really tune into all around the base of your spine and your pelvis this morning. So you can think about this as a clock face. As you're circling round, you can imagine you're circling around a clock. So going from 12, 1, 2, 3, all the way round to 12. And as you're circling round, just feeling into each point. Then we go in the other direction. So it can be a good visualization as you go around to see if there's any little niggles, any little aches, many parts of that clock face. You can hover over them a little bit, massage into them, sense into them. And this again, if this is a regular practice of doing this, circling round, you can notice things before they get too achy and work into them. So just working in any direction that feels good now, side to side, round, circling round with the knees. Deep breaths in and out. And then we come back to center. So you've got a choice here. You can either roll onto your side and gently push yourself up to seated, or you can take a few rolls along the spine. So massage it along the spine. If that feels good, if that feels like a bit of a no-no, then gently bring yourself up to seated. Just gently massaging the vertebrae, and then we're going to come all the way up to seated. We're going to bring the feet out wide and sit up nice and straight. Hi, Claire. Glad you got in. So when we sit up like this, so you want to be trying to pull up through the spine, through the waist, feel your sit bones here on the mat. And then we're going to work with this breath practice. It's called Kapalabhati. So it's like a breath of fire, it's called. It's quite a heating breath. You can do it slowly or fast, depending on how heated you want to get, but it's really good when it's cold. So you bring your hands up here into prayer above your head. Breathe in. On the out breath, you make a swishing movement with your hands, and you breathe out quite hard out of your nostrils as you push your hands out to the side. On your in breath, you breathe in, you bring the hands together, lift them up, and then you go and breathe out. I've got to be careful that I don't do too many of these, because if I do, I'll get a hot flush. But if you guys feel that you want to really heat up the body, this is the breath of fire, and it's all in the out breath. It's detoxing for the lungs because you're breathing out quite hard. So it's detoxing your lungs. It's really good for your immune system. And as you breathe in, reaching up, stretching underneath your armpits where your lymph glands are. So it's a really good breath. I just tend not to do it that often. Breathe in, breathe out. And then coming all the way back up to sit. So you can do those quite quickly, like that. But I won't be doing them quickly. You'll just see me go bright red. But yeah, if you want to try that in your own time, the heating breath. From here, sitting up nice and straight, we're then going to reach out with the front arm, reach behind with the back, and then you're going to look over your left shoulder. So you're lifting up and out through the waist, you're building muscles around your waist, shaping your waist. Gentle spinal twist. Couple of breaths there. Keep the fingertips moving, keep the energy moving through your arms there. And release. Give everything a little shake out. So shake out the legs, shake out the wrists. And we'll do the other side. So back into position, lifting up nice and straight. You're going to breathe in, reach up forwards with the left, behind with your right hand, looking behind, holding up. Couple of breaths here. See if you can draw the shoulders down when you're in this position. So imagine you're softening the shoulders down, lifting up and out through the waist. And release. Again, bring the legs out in front of you and give them a shake out. Tap through your legs just to release any tension there. And you're actually tuning into the energy meridians up and down your body as well. They're really good to do that. In Qigong, they spend the first bit of the sessions tapping over the whole body. And then we're going to cross the legs this morning. So we're going to try and stand up without using our hands. If you want to use your hands to give yourself a little push up, that's fine. We're going to try and think about the base chakra, the pelvic floor, the Muladhara. So you're going to harness all that energy and you're going to try and focus it into the base of your spine. Breathe in, and then on the out breath, you're going to breathe out as you shoot up. Nice. You guys have got that down now. It's all about the breath and really using the breath to help you. Okay, sun salutations. So I've got a sun out here. I hope you guys have. And I've got it written down. I've got this written down in my book, so I've got no excuses. Okay, so we're going to start the sun salutation with a breathe in, and we're going to bring the hands behind the back. So coming into reverse prayer here. So we're toning up the muscles underneath our arms. Breathing out, bring your hands all the way down the center, all the way down the center line into a forward fold, softening the knees so you can touch the ground. So soften the knees as much as you want to here, so you can actually engage your hands in with the ground. On your next in-breath, we come into a half lift. So you can bring your hands onto your knees and straighten out a flat back. Breathe in, lengthen out the back, and then on the out breath, come into a full forward fold. So maybe leg straight, maybe slightly bent. Drop the neck. We're going to soften the knees as much as we need to now to plant the hands really strong, spread the weight, and then spring or walk your way back into plank. Breathe in, on the out breath, knees, chest, forehead all the way down with control. First cobra this morning, we're going to have a go. We're going to try and lift without using the hands too much. So maybe bringing the palms of the hands off the ground. You can squeeze your bum muscles, bring your heels together. Maybe you can lift slightly up off the ground. Brilliant. Plant the hands, tuck the toes under the down dog. So we're going to press all the way back into down dog. And then we're going to walk this first dog. First dog of the day, we're going to walk the dog. So bending and stretching. Maybe you can lift one foot up off the ground, maybe the other. Keep pressing in with your hands into the mat. Keep breathing. And then straightening the legs. Instead of walking the feet up towards the hands today, we're going to try walking the hands back towards the feet. So you feel that stretch at the back of your legs. And then on your next in-breath, reach all the way up, down through center, and a leap up to the top of the mat. You're going to do two more. So let's go through this a little bit more flowy now we've got a handle on the moves. We're going to take a breathe in into a reverse prayer. So lovely stretch up the arms, breathe out all the way down through center. Soften the knees. And then as you breathe in, start to straighten up, flatten the back. Maybe keep the fingers engaged. Maybe bring them onto your knees. You're coming into a half lift. On the out breath, full fold. Drop the neck. And then we're going to plant the hands, soften those knees, and spring back into beautiful plank. Okay, knees, chest, forehead, come down. Take your time, and then this time you engage the palms of your hands as you come up into cobra. Keep the elbows soft, squeeze your bum muscles, and then into down dog. Walk those hands all the way back up towards the feet. Breathe in, all the way up to the top. Down through center. And then we're going to do one more of these. So elegantly up to the top of the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Half lift. Full fold. Into plank. Remember to breathe in here, and then on the out breath, maybe a full chaturanga all the way down. Squeeze those bum muscles as you come up into your cobra. Down dog. Walk the hands gently all the way back up to the feet. Reach overhead. And then we come back here all the way into Anjali pose. Spread the hands out into Tadasana and then close the eyes. So thinking about the hips today, thinking about stretching out the hips, thinking about strengthening the hip joint. Just tune into your breathing, tune into the moment, tune into the practice. Here now, in this very second, sitting with your breath, being with your breath. Feeling the soles of your feet connecting in with the earth. And then have a little shake out. So, I have got this flow written down. It's really fun because this flow, hopefully think it's fun. We've done tree pose loads of times. So with the flow is going to start in tree. So that you can have your toe connected or up here or up into your full tree. So we're actually going to start the flow in tree. But before we start, I'll just show you what the plan is. So you're going to go into tree, draw yourself up into tree to start the flow. And then from there, you're going to come into warrior three. So just if you want to have a little practice of that before we start it, get yourself set up in your tree. You want to squeeze your bum muscles, draw up through your waist, breathe in, and then as you breathe out, come back into warrior three, and then it'll come into a high lunge. Nice. Oh, well done, guys. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah, perfect. Because we'll try the other side. Because if it goes, that looks fantastic with you. If it goes, like if it feels a little bit wobbly, as you're coming into it, you can come quicker down into a high lunge. But yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, very nice. That's gorgeous. So yeah, I was thinking we always do tree, but then we never do anything with it. So like, let's build it in. Okay. So we will get ourselves set up in mountain pose. So ankles underneath hips, shoulders nice and relaxed. And then on the in-breath, when you're ready, bring yourself up into your tree. So maybe finding your focal point. And we'll just take a breath in tree. On the next in-breath, squeezing the pelvic floor, lifting up through the waist. On the out-breath, releasing that foot out into warrior three. Nice and slow, and then it's going to come all the way down into a high lunge. Breathe in as you reach up with your arms. As you breathe out, you're going to bend that back knee and you're going to draw everything down. So draw the hands down, draw the knee down. You can go as low as you dare. Breathe in and stretch it up. So front knee bent, back knee is nice and straight. As you breathe out, draw it down. How low can you go? Nice. And then breathe in, reach up. Expanding through the chest one more time. As you breathe out, coming all the way down. As you breathe in, reach up. You should be feeling this in your thighs by now. And then from here, we're going to lower, slowly twist and lower the back leg and float our way into warrior two. So that high lunge is going to turn into a warrior two. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, just feel that your shoulders can soften slightly. On the next in-breath, we straighten that front knee. We come into triangle, and then we're going to go into a forward triangle. So we're going to start to fold over. I'll face this way so I can see you guys. Fold over and come all the way into that triangle pose. Bring this high hand all the way down to the low hand. So you're going to bring your palms together. So your hands could be here up by your thigh, on your knee, down towards your ankle, down towards the ground. So you could have any position along there. On your next in-breath, you're going to draw your right hand all the way up your left arm. Imagine you're opening a bow and arrow. So imagine you're pulling back to fire an arrow as you open out through the chest. And then we're going to take 3 breaths here. So if it feels a bit strong, come out of it a tiny bit. And we're going to take a couple more breaths. So stretching through the front leg, gentle spinal twist out through the arms. So full body stretch this pose. One more breath. And then on the next in-breath, you're going to slowly start to bend that front knee and float your way all the way back up into warrior two. Nice. We're going to cartwheel the arms down, frame that front foot, plant the hands and step back into down dog. So walk the dog here. Remember, down dog's a resting pose, so just having a little rest here. And if you want to come into child's pose, you can. So we can either walk the hands up towards the feet now, or if you're feeling like you want to do a bit more core strength in your lesson, we're going to breathe in. On the out breath, fold over into that plank. Come all the way down with chaturanga. Breathe in as you press up into cobra or up dog. Down dog. And then we're going to walk the hands all the way up towards the feet. You'll be in a forward fold now. You can soften the knees or keep them straight. And we're just going to take 3 breaths in forward fold. So you can hold on to your elbows here, which takes the pressure out of your shoulders. You can soften the knees right down. You can bring the hands onto a block or onto the floor, but we'll just do a couple of breaths here in forward fold. And then on the next in-breath, slowly reaching up. Breathe in as you reach your hands all the way overhead. Breathing out, bring the hands back into heart center. And then we get ready to do the other side. So set yourself up in your mountain pose. Bring the left leg up into tree now. So it could be a tree with a toe grounded, calf, or up high. And then find your focal point. To get my focus on, drawing all the way up through to tree. Take a breath here. And then we're going to breathe in. On the out breath, we're going to flow this tree into a warrior three. So float all the way down, hovering there as long as you dare, and then back up into your high lunge. Nice. Well done. Breathe in. On the out breath, putting that energy down, bending that back knee. As low as you can, reaching up, breathing in. Breathing out, coming down. One more time. Pushing up, keep the hands really active as you come up as you breathe out, lowering everything down, pulling down with your hands. And then this time we're going to reach up, breathe in, and then on the out breath, we're going to come all the way into warrior. Nice. Nice, warriors. On the next in-breath, straighten that front leg. You're coming into triangle. And then on the out breath, you're going to slowly, slowly fold your way down with the breath. Bring your top hand in to join your bottom hand into prayer. And then slowly fold that hand all the way up. You're going to hold that there for 3 breaths. Nice. On the next in-breath, float your way all the way back into your beautiful warrior. And then we cartwheel the hands all the way down, connecting in with the mat and stepping back into down dog. So here you've got a choice. You can stretch out and play with your down dog, walk the dog, come into child's pose, or we're going to breathe in. On the out breath, we're going to roll into plank, down to chaturanga. On the next in breath, squeeze your bum muscles all the way up into cobra, maybe up dog and down dog. Walking the hands all the way back to the feet. Breathe in. And breathing out. And from here, we're going to have a little go at dancer pose today. So it's a lovely pose, really good when you've warmed up the hips. And we start dancer pose by just squeezing knee in towards the chest. So if you bring your right knee in towards your chest and just lift up, so you're lifting the hip up, lifting the knee in towards your chest. You can use something to hold on to as well to do this if you need a little bit of help with the chair or something. And then from there, release that leg, bring it behind you, and you can grab hold of your right leg with your right hand. You can use, the full pose uses both hands. That's quite full on the shoulders. So for me, I prefer just having my right hand on my right foot. And then we just gently tip forwards a little bit. So into dancer pose. You could do a little baby dancer pose. Or you can take it a little bit higher. You can stretch up out into it, reach the hand forward, have a little play around with it. And if you're really enjoying it, you can really sink quite deep into it. If you come out of it, just pop back up into it and have a little play. So breathing in on the out breath, flowing down into dancer pose. So bringing your left hand out here can help. On the pictures, both hands can be behind like that. That's quite tricky. Reaching on both. Whoops. And then we do the other side. Yeah, I'm not quite ready for the two-hand. You squeeze that left knee up in towards the chest. So this is really important because you're going to be really working into the hip and lifting up and out. And then release. And then again, bring your left knee, bend your left knee, bring your left foot behind, left hand. And then you're going to breathe in. On the out breath, and start to slowly tip forward into baby dancer. So baby dancer, maybe start to stretch it forwards more and more. And have a little play with that pose. One of my favourite poses. I'm going to try with two hands. Probably fall over. Have a little go with the pose. I find it a little bit easier with two hands on this side. So yeah, it's always a nice one to play with. And then release, shake out those hips, give them a really good shake out. And then we're going to reach up with the arms, bring the heels off the ground. And then you're going to come all the way down from here, slowly with the out breath into a really nice toe balance. From here, we're going to release the knees, come into hero pose, bring the palms of your hands onto your knees, and we're just going to take 3 breaths. So you can come into child's pose now if it feels like you would like a child's pose, or you can hang out in hero, just closing the eyes, rounding and connecting the palms of the hands with your thighs, softening the shoulders, your jaw, softening the cheekbones, just letting everything relax for a moment or two. Tuning back into the breath. It's always fun to try out the balancing poses. It uses all your focus and it brings everything into clarity. It's difficult to do those balances if you've got other things on your mind, but it's always fun to try them outside when you're on a walk. It's something that we definitely need to work on as we're getting older as well, working with those playful balanced postures. One more breath here in hero. And then opening the eyes, we're going to come into a seated twist this morning. So there's a few choices. You can stretch out your right leg, bring your left leg in, bring the sole of your foot onto your thigh. So you're basically in tree position, but sitting down. So you're working on your hips in quite a nice gentle way. If that feels quite comfortable, have a little play with bending this right knee around. Now your hip might not want to do that. It might not like it. So just have a little play with the joint. We've really warmed up the hip point. So it's either going to be, you might want to go here, or you can bring this hip around. And then make sure you're nice and balanced on your sit bones, whichever position that you choose to do. And then we're going to go into a seated twist. So really good for the spine. So lifting up and out through the waist. And then we're going to take the left hand onto the right knee, bring the right hand behind, and we're just going to gently start to twist. So when you twist around, that's with the out breath. So breathing in, you're lifting up through your spine, breathing out, you're gently twisting. Take a couple of breaths there. Again, if at any time you want to release that leg forward, then you can. Always imagine when you're breathing in that you're lifting a little bit higher. One more breath. And slowly coming back. Release those legs, give them a little shake out. And then we'll try the other side. So again, bringing the right sole of the foot onto your left leg as a starting point. Popping this leg around with both legs bent. And then we're going to start to take the right hand onto the left knee. And then we're going to breathe in and then start to gently twist. You might find it feels less comfortable on that hip. One hip might be more mobile than the other. So just tune into it gently. Breathing in, we'll take 3 breaths here in this turn. But often one hip is more flexible on most people than the other. But this is just gently easing into it, stretching into it. One more breath. And then coming all the way back down, release the legs, give them a little tap, and then bring your soles of your feet together into butterfly pose. So this is all our hard work with our hips we can enjoy in butterfly pose. If you bring the soles of your feet together, you can bring your hands around your toes, lift up one sit bone, then the other, connecting with those sit bones. Draw yourself up as tall as you can, And then on the out breath, soften your way all the way down into that butterfly. And then we can take 3 breaths here. So 3 breaths in butterfly pose. And just breathing into the stretch. When you're ready, slowly breathing in, lifting all the way back up. We're going to release the legs and blow our weight all the way back down onto the mat. Bring the knees back over the chest and gently release the lower back. So just making a few circles all the way back round. We've given the hips a really good workout this morning, so just taking a few gentle movements in any direction that feels good. And then when we're ready, we come all the way down back into Shavasana. So turning the palms up to the ceiling, lifting one hip then the other, making as many movements, small movements, any movements that you need to make. And we come back into a beautiful stillness of Shavasana to close the practice. Let's tune back into the breath. Notice if your breathing is any different to the start of the session. Maybe breathing a little bit deeper, a little bit softer. Maybe being a little bit more grounded. We're going to take our awareness to the soles of our feet. And on the next inhalation, filling the lungs with energy, oxygen, with life. On the out breath, visualize that breath traveling all the way down to your toes. We're going to bring our awareness to the palms of our hands. Taking a deep breath in, and on the exhalation, just allowing the awareness of that breath to flow all the way down to our fingertips. Taking a deep breath in, allowing the breath to travel to all parts of the body where it needs and wants to go. And we're going to make some small movements now, bringing our awareness back into this moment, into this space. We'll make a pillow with our hands and turn onto our side. And I'll meet you back up in Sukhasana when you're ready. If you're watching the recording, you can have a longer Shavasana. We're going to finish the practice by rubbing our palms together. So rubbing the palms together, just creating a bit of warmth, a bit of energy here in the palms of your hands. So when you feel that they're starting to warm up, you take a deep breath in, and then you're going to place palms onto your eyes, breathing out. Do that one more time. So send a little bit of healing energy bit of light, bit of TLC to your eyes, because your eyes are working hard all the time, from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your palms to your eyes. And release. Namaste. Have a lovely day. I didn't forget what I was doing, so that's a big plus. I'll see you guys on Sunday. So we've got one more Thursday left, I think, before Christmas. And then we've got one more Sunday. I think that's right.